Good day everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. Don't forget to click subscribe. Okay, so for this day, I'm going to present to you to discuss about solving rational equations through digital lesson. So what is a rational expression? It is a fraction with polynomials for the numerator and denominator. For example, 1 over x, 2 over x plus 3, and x squared minus 3 over x plus 1 are rational expressions. It is replaced by a number making the denominator of a rational expression 0. The value of the rational expression is undefined. So meaning if the denominator of a rational expression is 0, so it is undefined. Example, evaluate 1 over x, 2 over x plus 3, and x squared minus 9 over x minus 1 for x equals negative 3, 0, and 1. So we have here a table of values. For the value of x, we represent x. The first expression is 1 over x, second 2 over x plus 3, third x squared minus 9 over x minus 1. So when x is equal to negative 3 in this example, so we can substitute here 1 over negative 3 for 1 over x, so the answer is negative 1 over 3. For 2 over x plus 3, for the second given example, we substitute the value of x negative 3. So negative 3 plus 3, it becomes 0. The denominator is 0, so that is 2 over 0. The answer is undefined. For the third, x squared minus 9 over x minus 1. So when x equals negative 3, it becomes negative 3 squared. It becomes positive 9. Minus 9 is 0. 0 over negative 3 minus 1 is negative 4. 0 over negative 4 is 0. So when x equals 0, our 1 over x, it becomes 1 over 0. Since the denominator is 0, it is undefined. For the second, 2 over x plus 3, when x equals 0, it becomes 2 over 3. So the answer is 2 over 3. When x equals 0 here, x squared minus 9, it becomes 0 squared, that is 0 minus 9, negative 9, over 0 minus 1 is negative 1. Negative 9 over negative 1, it becomes positive 9. When x equals 1, so 1 over 1, that is 1. For 2 over x plus 3, 2 over 1 plus 3, that is 2 fourths. Reduce the lowest term, that is 1 half. And 1 squared is 1 minus 9, negative 8. Over 1 minus 1 is 0. Since the denominator of the rational expression is 0, the answer is undefined. A rational equation is an equation between rational expressions. For example, 1 over x equals 2 over x plus 3, and x squared minus 3 over x plus 1 is equal to x minus 1 over x cubed plus 2x are rational equations. To solve a rational equation, we have here some important reminders. Number 1, find the LCM of the denominators or the least common multiple. Second, clear denominators by multiplying both sides of the equation by the LCM. Third, solve the resulting polynomial equation. Fourth, check the solutions. Let's now have example number 1. Solve the rational equation 1 over x minus 3 equals x plus 1 over x minus 3. So our LCM here, our first step, find the LCM. So our least common multiple is x minus 3. So when you multiply x minus 3 here, it cancels out, cancel for the right side. So the remaining is 1 over x plus 1. Solving for x, we will transpose positive 1 here to the left side. It becomes 1 minus 1. So x equals 0. Solve for x. Again, x is equal to 0. 1 over, when you check and substitute the values or the value of x which is equal to 0, 1 over 0 minus 3 equals 0 plus 1 over 0 minus 3. 0 here is taken from the value of x from our given equation. So 1 over negative 3 equals 1 over negative 3. Simplify, that is true. Second, solve 1 over x equals 2 over x minus 1. So for the LCM, x times quantity x minus 1, which is our denominator, find the LCM. So our equation 1 over x multiplied by the LCM x times x minus 1 equals quantity 2 over x minus 1 times the LCM x times x minus 1. Okay, so that is our step, multiply by LCM. To simplify, we can have to take out x divided x equals 1. So x minus 1 times 1 equals x minus 1 equals our LCM x times x minus 1. The denominator is x minus 1, so eliminated. 2 times x equals 2x. So therefore, x minus 1 equals 2x. So x equals negative 1. Because 2x minus x equals x, then we have negative 1. After clearing denominators, a solution of the polynomial equation may make a denominator of the rational equation 0. In this case, the value is not a solution of the rational equation. It is critical to check all solutions. Example, solve 3x plus 1 over x squared minus 1 equals 1 over x plus 1. So for our solution, since x squared minus 1 is equal to the factors x minus 1 times quantity x plus 1, this is our LCM, x minus 1 times x plus 1. So for our solution, we can have bring down 3x plus 1 over x squared minus 1 multiplied by the LCM, the factor of x squared minus 1, which is x minus 1, x plus 1. Then we have the second equation 1 over x plus 1 multiplied by the LCM, x minus 1 times x plus 1. So therefore, our factor x minus 1, x plus 1, it can be cancelled out because that is equal to 1. So you just copy the numerator 3x plus 1 equals, cancel x plus 1, x plus 1. So you can have x minus 1 times x minus 1 equals x minus 1. So we can solve the x. That is 3x minus x equals 2x. Then you can have our negative 1. You just bring down negative 1 minus 1, transpose positive 1. It becomes negative 2. So to solve for x, we can divide both sides by 2. So 2 over 2, that is 1x or x. Negative 2 over 2, that is negative 1. Check. Since negative 1 makes both denominators 0, the rational equation has no solutions. So if you are going to substitute negative 1 to the denominator here, negative 1 plus 1, so it becomes 0. Therefore, that is not defined or undefined. Another example, we can have solve x over x minus 3 equals negative 6 over x squared minus 8x plus 15. So we are going to factor out x squared minus 8x plus 15. We can have x squared minus 8x plus 15 equals the quantity of x minus 3 times the quantity x minus 5. So the LCM is x minus 3 times x minus 5. So we can have the original equation. You copy x over x minus 3 equals negative 6 over x squared minus 8x plus 15. So for our another step, we can multiply the LCM here, both sides. So x over x minus 3 multiplied by the LCM equals negative 6 over x squared minus 8x plus 15 multiplied by the LCM, x minus 3 times x minus 5. So we can eliminate the factor x minus 3 over x minus 3, the denominator of the equation. So we can have x times x minus 5. And also, the denominator x squared minus 8x plus 15 cancelled because of these factors. So the remaining is negative 6, our polynomial equation. So we can have x times x minus 5, that is x squared minus 5x. Transpose negative 6, that is positive 6 equals 0. Therefore, our factors x minus 2 times x minus 3 equals 0. So to solve the value for x is equal to positive 2, x equals positive 3. But our solution is only x equals 2. Why? Because when x equals 3, the given equation is undefined. So therefore x equals 3 is not our solution, since both sides would be undefined. So x minus 3 is, when you substitute the value of x equals 3, that is undefined. To solve problems involving work, use the formula part of work completed equals rate of work times time work. For example, if it takes 5 hours to paint a room, what part of the work is completed after 3 hours? So for our solution, if one room can be painted in 5 hours, then the rate of work is 1/5 of rooms per hour. So the time work is 3 hours. Therefore, part of work completed is equal to the rate of work times time work. Part of work completed equals 1/5 times 3 equals 3/5. Therefore, 3/5 of the work is completed after 3 hours. If a painter can paint a room in 4 hours and her assistant can paint the room in 6 hours, how many hours will it take them to paint the room working together? So let T be the time it takes them to paint the room together. So we can have our illustration. We have the painter and the assistant. We have rate of work, time work, part of work completed. So for the painter, since we have 4 hours, we have 1/4. The time work is T. The part of work completed is T over 4. For the assistant, 1/6. Time work is T. Part of work completed, T over 6. Therefore, to solve or to write the equation using rational, T over 4 plus T over 6 equals 1. So our LCM is equal to 12. So we can have, when you multiply both sides by 12 here, it becomes 12 divide 4, it becomes 3T, plus 12 over 6, that is 2T, equals 1 times 12, 12. So therefore, our equation, 5T, because 3T plus 2T equals 5T equals 12. Solving for T, divide both sides by 5. So 12 over 5, which is equal to 2.4 when you simplify. So working together, they will paint the room in 2.4 hours. So this is now our answer. To solve problems involving motion, use the formulas distance equals rate times time and time equals distance over rate. Example number 1. If a car travels at 60 miles per hour for 3 hours, what distance has it traveled? Since rate equals 60 times the mile per hour and time equals 3 hours, then distance equals rate times time equals 60 times 3 equals 180. The car travels 180 miles. For example number 2. How long does it take an airplane to travel 1,200 miles flying at a speed of 250 miles per hour? Since distance equals 1,200 miles and rate equals 250 miles per hour, so time is equal to distance over rate, that is 1,200 over 250. So the answer is 4.8. It takes 4.8 hours for the plane make its trip. Another example, a traveling salesman drives from home to a client's store 150 miles away. On the return trip, he drives 10 miles per hour slower and adds 1/2 hour in driving time. At what speed was the salesperson driving on the way to the client's store? So for our solution, let R be the rate of travel, speed in miles per hour. We have the illustration, trip to client, trip home, the distance, rate, and time. So for the distance trip to client is 150, the rate R, time is 150 over. So for trip home, the distance is 150, the rate is R minus 10, and the time is 150 over R minus 10. So again, we have trip home, the distance is 150, rate is R minus 10, and the time 150 over R
minus 10. So we have here our rational equation, 150 over r minus 10, which is taken from the time of trip home, minus 150 over r for the trip to client, which is equal to 1/2. So our LCM is equal to 2r times r minus 10. So we will multiply. So the corresponding answer is 300r minus 300 times quantity r minus 10 equals r times r minus 10. So for the solution again, 300r minus 300r plus 3000 is equal to r squared minus 10r. Simplify further, so 300r minus 300r equals 0, r squared minus 10r minus 3000. So 0 is equal to factor out r squared minus 10r minus 3000 is equal to r minus 60 times r plus 50. Therefore, r equals 60 or negative 50. But negative 50 is irrelevant for the rate. So the salesman drove from home to the client's store at 60 miles per hour. To check at 60 miles per hour, the time taken to drive the 150 miles from the salesman home to the client's store is 150 over 60 equals 2.5 hours. So at 50 miles per hour or 10 miles per hour slower, the time taken to make the return trip of 150 miles is 150 over 10 equals 3 hours. So the return trip took 1/2 hour longer. Thank you very much for watching.
Please don't forget to click subscribe in my YouTube channel. Happy and enjoy mathematics because mathematics is fun.